Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani. Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 164, and today is our lesson number 95. Please turn to page 164, the very last problem on the page, problem number 90. It says that we have increasing sequence of 10 consecutive integers. We are told that the sum of the first 5 is 560. The question simply is, what's the sum of the last 5? Now listen, there are two ways we can go about solving this problem. It's not a difficult problem, but there are two ways one can go about solving this problem. One is what I call the traditional way, the orthodox way, the conventional way, the algebraic way, using the algebra. And the other one is a little bit of a non-traditional way. In the non-traditional method, what we need to understand is this part. For example, if somebody were to ask you, what's the average of 7, 8, and 9? Many a times I have seen people, when they are posed with this question, they actually go around adding up these three numbers and dividing by 3. They fail to realize that because the numbers are evenly spaced, there's a difference, 7 to 8 is a difference of 1, 8 to 9 is a difference of 1. Because they are evenly spaced, therefore the average is going to be 8. As long as they are evenly spaced, the sum of these 5 numbers is still 8. And sum of these 7 numbers is still 8. What's the sum of these 3 numbers? 23, 26, and 29. Again, they are evenly spaced. There's a difference of 3. 23 to 26 is difference of 3, and 23 to 29 is 26 to 29 is difference of 3. Because they are evenly spaced, the average is going to be right in the middle. What's the sum of these numbers? 8, 13, 18, and 23. Now we're getting a little bit tricky, aren't we? Again, the very first thing we notice is that they are evenly spaced. The difference is 5. 8 to 13, 13 to 18, and 18 to 23 is a difference of 5. Therefore, the average is going to be the number that falls right in the middle. But unfortunately, we don't have odd number of numbers here. We have even number of numbers. Therefore, the average is going to be whatever is that falls in the middle. Because the difference is 5, we just add 2.5 to it. So just 13 plus 2.5, or 15.5 is going to be the average. That's going to be the average of these 4 numbers. Now what's going on here in this problem is this. What's going on in this problem is that we are told that the sum of the first 5 is 560. Sum of the first 5 is 560. If you were to divide 560 by 5, how many 5s in a 5? 5 has 1 5. How many 5s in a 6? 6 has 1 5. The remaining one goes and joins this guy, becomes 10. How many 5s in a 10? 10 has 2 5s. 112. Now 112 represents the average of the 5 numbers. And these 5 numbers are consecutive numbers. Therefore, here's the tricky part. Therefore, you must realize right away that 112 is the middle number. Has to be the middle number because it's the average of 5 numbers. 112 is the middle number, then we have 111, then we have 110, and then we have 113, then we have 114. These are the numbers. 112, right in the middle, 111, 110, 113, and 114. Now how does that help us? How does it help us? Well, it helps us in this way. Therefore, the next 5 numbers that they're talking about must be 115, 116, 117, 118, and 119. And the question simply is, what is the sum of these 5 numbers, this second series here? What we should again notice is right away is that the difference between this guy and this guy is 5. Difference between this guy and this guy is 5. Of course it's 5 because there are 5 more numbers after this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. they are all a difference of 5. There is a difference of 5. Therefore, the sum of the last 5 numbers is simply 560 plus a 25. Voila, that's our answer, whatever that is. Because they are all a difference of 5. So one more time, how do we locate the first 5 numbers? Well, by simply taking the average of the 5 numbers. The sum was 560. 560 divided by 5 is 112, that's the average. And because they are evenly spaced, the fact that they are consecutive numbers is not even a point, even if they were not, even if they differed by 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is, as long as they are all evenly spaced, the average is going to be right. The average is going to be in the middle, the number that falls right in the middle. And that's your 112 because there are 5 of them. This is 112, there is 2 to the left of it, 2 to the right of it. That's your average. So that's how we located the middle number. Once we have the middle number, we can figure out 111, 110 and so forth. And then we just line up the other 5. And when we line up the other 5s, we realize the difference is always the 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So it's 5 5s. Therefore 560 plus 25. Now if you like, if you are hell-bent on it, if you insist on it, we'll do it the proper way, the algebraic way. Okay? In the algebraic way, what we have to realize is that because they are consecutive numbers, therefore if the first one is x, the next one is going to be x plus 1, the one after that is going to be x plus 2, the one after that is going to be x plus 3, the one after that is going to be x plus 4. Now this is about as traditional as you can get. There is nothing novel about it, there is nothing unique about it, there is nothing creative about it. This is a very traditional algebraic method. If you were to present this question to your math teacher, this is how he or she will show you the solution. And the sum, we are told, is 560. How many x's do we have? We have 1 x here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 x's. So 5x plus 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 4 is 10, and that equals 560. Therefore 5x must equal 550, and therefore x equals 110. Now what does x represent? X represents the first guy right here. And that's how we'll find out that your first guy is 110, 111, 112, 113, 114. And then you line up the next 5 numbers here and you find out their sum. It's the exact same thing as before. The only difference is that in this algebraic method, somehow we have to figure out what these 5 numbers are, and the way we figure out what these 5 numbers are is by locating one of them. In the previous method that we did, what we located was a number that falls in the middle, which was the average. That's what we located. By dividing 560 by 5, we located the average. Once we had the average, we knew what the 5 numbers were because 2 were to the left of it, 2 were to the right of it. In this method, it's a little bit different. Here we are locating the very first number. Anyway, so once we have the first number, we can figure out what the first 5 numbers are. Then we can figure out the next 5 numbers, and you just add them up and get the answer. Like I said, there is nothing unique about it. Very simple, very traditional method. That's what it is. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.